Leadership power substantially energizes your visionary realities. This is Bill Thomas, and welcome to another episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. Uh, we are gonna put things up here and start the slide presentation in a quick second here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of today's Leadership Power Paradigms episodes. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's 14 or so minutes of shared insights. We will look at and examine the fundamentals of visionary leadership power and principles. I believe you'll find it especially useful to understand how the creator and master of our universe crafts his own vision statements too. So here we go. Habakkuk, whose name means ardent embracer, was called the prophet of faith of Israel, who God used to reveal a vision of his countrymen's eventual deliverance out of oppression from their enemies, who are also the enemies of God and other nations as well. The vision that God reveals to Habakkuk not only applies to the time, place, and situational difficulties of the prophet, this vision has the permanency of the living, eternal, and supreme God, and thus will persist with all the power of God Himself in the universe until the end of time itself. And what is the vision or prophecy? It is that those humans who are justified in God's sight will be everyone who lives and walks by their faith in God's word, promises, and will for people. Any effective visionary proposition or premise must empower leaders to develop, strengthen, and improve the meaningfulness of their ideals, purposes, and actions, which usually forms the justification for their service to their version of God. The materials, those tangible results or manifestations of and accumulations from their actions, such as their money, investments, and possessions, or what they would call gold. The demonstrated growth and mature development in their personal characteristics or behaviors and professional performances, those service driven or ethically and morally focused traits and deeds which might bring them greater fame and glory from their peers, colleagues, and partners. When thinking about your leadership duties, we sometimes forget that there are three very clearly defined, totally legitimate reasons or purposes for using your leadership power, and that each leadership act should serve a specific purpose and provide some benefit to one or more other people too. For example, if you use your leadership to open up pathways to new or better knowledge or bigger or more promising opportunities, who might benefit and what would those benefits look like? If your leadership actions were designed to provide a service to the employees and other stakeholders in your organization, then what would those service offerings and tangible products be? I mean, shouldn't your leadership services enable the organization to achieve clearly defined goals? Shouldn't your leadership coach, train, and support the development of your human capital, employee performances, and organizational results? Shouldn't your leadership activities help your people to create better or improve services, products, or customer value propositions? If you hope your employees and stakeholder communities use your visionary aspirations to energize the creations, contributions, collaborations, and connections they will need to compete and win in today's environment of chaos, confusion, complexities, catastrophes, and changing priorities, you will need to pack your vision statements with elements of information based, knowledge rich, wisdom propelling, energetic energies. Here are seven of those essential elements of power that your vision statements should include. You could discuss it, however, that will not satisfy the desires of our human hearts. Your vision must fulfill others and not leave them with a sense of emptiness. You should say something that matters to others, something that will impact their lives, something that gives them a purposeful reason for taking positive action. Give their efforts, activities, or striving a worthy reward. Answering why gives people the clarity they need to act. Stating the how gives others the disciplined directions they need to act correctly. Defining what helps people to be consistent in all their performances. It's a scientific fact that people living with little or no purpose are unhappy and are more likely to think about ending their lives. You and I are at our most effective when we are fulfilling our purpose. Job titles are important because those designations tell people that there is a purpose for their work, their organization, and profession. Your title is not the only indicator of your purpose, but it does give you a sense of purpose, doesn't it? We find it easier to trust in and rely on the promises of a worthy, noble purpose. Your vision statement should give the group a purpose that is worthwhile of their trust, loyalty, and commitment. You can use your visionary projections to transform your organization or group into a newer, better, more confident team of leaders, innovators, and mentors. Thus, visions that help people to form positive identities can help you add value to and boost the creativity and resourcefulness of your people's best efforts. Without principles, your vision will fade away into nothingness. Is it possible that the Bible's author means the same thing? Your vision must have a strong, principle driven, values oriented foundation to have any chance at a future of success. The time is now, but eternity is forever. Eternity is one big eternal present. Within it, there is no past, no future, and no in between. There is only an eternal now. Your vision needs to be present at all times. To be sure, the vision may not yet be attained, but it but when its goals are achieved, that visionary image will be present. If the vision contains a crystallized hope, it will appear to mirror the best parts of eternity. Your vision will be without any past regrets, without the fear of future doom, and it will contain one ever present hope for better things. Does your vision statement inspire our bodies, minds, spirits, and potentials? Have you spoken to and connected with our physical, intellectual, spiritual, or developmental beings? Use the power of dimension to lengthen, deepen, heighten, and broaden the character, capability, competence, and potential of your team. They'll be the better for it. We had a chance to see how the master creator God of the universe instructs us to shape our own vision statements. We learned about the three primary missions for delivering your leadership power. We have a better understanding about the meanings and purposes for using our leadership power, and you were supplied with seven essential elements that you can include into all your vision statements. Now, all you need to do is to write your own visionary ideals on the tablets, smartphones, and computers of your people so that they may run who read those statements. This ends today's lesson. Now, you're looking at a catalog of materials, training, and coaching support, which are featured in my Leadership Power Paradigms Producer Tools program. You can see that this program is designed to dramatically improve your leadership performances and use your leadership strengths to comprehensively empower the achievements of your people. Right now, this program is available to you at my lowest possible price, so I urge you to visit the webpage at www.one-im.com/LPP tools. That's the big red web link that you see in the middle of the slide here. Um, or you can click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button that you see on the right side of your screen if you're in our webinar room. And if you like what you read on that page, I urge you to go ahead and get going now. Don't forget, there is my famous no questions asked, no risk to you money back guarantee for this program. So you really have nothing to lose by enrolling now in this awesome educational experience. And when you do click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button that you see on the right side of the screen, why, it will open up a new browser tab or new browser window for you, so you won't lose your place in the webinar. And you can read through that page, when the webinar is over, which will just be a minute or so from now. I just need to give you your bonus gifts for staying with us today. And when you do, well, you'll I think you'll be impressed. Anyway, while you're while you're clicking on that enroll and get started now button, or if you're typing in the www.one-im.com/LPP-tools into a new browser tab or window for you, um, I'm going to run back over to my control panel, and that way I can send you the links to the two bonus gifts that I have for you today. So let's see, what do we got here? Uh, all right, and we're doing that. Good. All right, I've just uploaded the two bonus gifts for you, and I'm just going to go over to our other box here just to make sure that everybody gets this. And let's see, there we go. All right, bonus gift number one is the infographic. It is a PDF document. It is one sheet of paper, so I urge you to download it and print it out. And the title of that infographic is 5 Leadership Uplifter Tasks. And those are the 5 essential tasks that every leader has to perform. And if you're performing one or more of those tasks in each of your leadership actions, why, that should get you the desired results that you hope to have out of that leadership action. And if you're not doing one of those 5, then the chances are really good that you won't be effective in your performance as a leader on that particular act, in that particular act. And the second gift that I have for you is an 8-page PDF document. It's called Words with Wisdom. And I also urge you to download that and print that out. And the infographic, you really should, once you download it to your computer, just print it out. It'll fit on one sheet of paper, and put that sheet of paper right on your desk or on a wall that you can look at, so that you won't lose the thread of the thoughts there. And the Words with Wisdom paper, it's 8 pages, and you might want to print that out as well. But that one you'll want to study and take notes on, so you can write notes on it as well. And at the same time, it contains the principles, strategies, tips, and techniques that we covered in today's episode of Leadership Power Paradigms, as well as in previous episodes of Leadership Power Paradigms. And for those of you who are on the webinar replay, If you look on the right side of your screen, you'll see an area that says questions. You can type in your question, just type in your question and click the email us button, and it will send me an email directly. And in that email, my system already knows your name, and it also knows your email address. So all you need to do is to type in your question and click that button, and it will send me the email. I'll see who you are, where I can reply back to you, your email address, and I'll also reply back to and try to answer as best as I can and as fully as I can your question, or speak to some of my ideas about your comment. Okay, so that's my promise to you as well. So you can get some free advice that way too. Anyway, for those of you who wouldn't have been able to see this live, this particular episode live, but for those of you who see it on the webinar replay, I thank you very much for joining us today. And I appreciate all of you who watch our Leadership Power Paradigms webinar series. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. God bless each and every one of you. Godspeed to you all. And I wish you all the very best of success in all of your leadership endeavors. Take care.